we're almost out of biscuits, so I'm gonna make some more. We have 4 cups of all-purpose flour in the bowl. We're gonna add to that about a tablespoon of salt, and then 2 tablespoons of baking powder. I've had a lot of people ask me how to make the biscuits and the different tricks, and there are a few tricks to it. So I figured this would be a good one to put out there to start out. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take the butter knife. So you're not adding more dishes. And then I'm gonna put half a stick of butter, but I'm gonna cut it up into slices so it's easier to mash in. You can buy fancy tools to mash it in. I usually just use my hands. Gonna make a lot of noise, always. I guess you could just do that. Alright. Now, just set that aside. We're gonna need that in a minute. Coat all of your butter in your flour and then mush it, just like this. Just squish it around. It's gonna get all over your hands. It's gonna kick up a little bit. It's alright. It'll wash off. And that'll take just a few minutes, but it's not too bad. When you don't have any more big butter chunks, it looks about like sandy. You take 2 cups of milk. I think the original recipe I started with called for buttermilk, but I stopped buying that because that's the only thing I was using it for. And I'm all about using things that I already have in my kitchen. And you probably have in yours too. I really like this recipe because all the things are pretty well what I already have, but also because it's a lot cheaper. I didn't realize, especially if you like the name brand, biscuits are expensive for what they are. It's really not. And I'm not sure why it costs that much, because they're really easy to make. And they're way better this way. I'm just getting the rest of the flour just in. You don't want to over mix it. This you want to stop at the point of a shaggy dough. Alright, so that's about what we're looking for. It's going to be all over your hands. It's alright. Usually take my butter knife, get all the big chunks off. And then I'm going to take my rolling pin and roll it out till it's about 1 inch thick. A lot of people don't have rolling pins. It took me a long time to have one, or to buy one. And you don't really even have to have one. If you want to have it really uniform, yes. But otherwise, you can kind of just press it down. You don't really have to have all of the tools for baking. A lot of them are just handy. Now, I have the cookie cutter. I think I got this for $1 or $2. If you don't have one, a wide mouth mason jar would also work. And then whenever you push down, do not twist or your biscuits are going to stay like hockey pucks. So you want to go straight down and then pull it back out. There you go, as many as you can, because if you overwork the dough, I hear they get tough. I don't think I've ever actually overworked my dough because they've always turned out great. I did, however, one time twist my cookie cutter and they did not rise. It sealed the edges entirely, didn't work out. So I have a pan here that I've lined with foil. You don't have to line it with foil. It's not, you don't put anything down for non-stick. I just like the easy cleanup. And it takes all of an extra 3 seconds. Now these, when you put them on there, the other really important thing, the other trick for biscuits, is to make sure they are best friends on that pan. You don't want to put them, you don't want to give them any space like that. You want them snuggling. You know, a lot of people, anybody I've ever talked to that's asked me how to make biscuits, they said, Audrey, they didn't rise. Well, it means you're doing one of two things. You're either twisting with when you cut them, or you're giving them entirely too much space. These turn out to be the biggest, fluffiest biscuits, and they're so good. I usually keep them on hand because my husband likes to eat them with just about every meal. Any kind of stews for breakfast. My kids like them for a snack. They'll eat a jelly biscuit or a biscuit with apple butter on it. The last one I'm just patting down because what's the use of cutting the extra off? I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to put these in the oven at 400 for about 20 minutes. I like to keep an eye on them, mainly because my oven likes to change its temperature out of nowhere for zero reason. So if I see that they're browning on one side more than they are the other, I'll flip them around. A lot of times I forget about them until about 18 minutes in, and then they're done a little bit early. Not a big deal. I'll show you when they come back out. When they're done, they're delicious and squishy, and fluffy. We're gonna have some with gravy here in a minute. Look how these turned out. They're delicious.